Welcome back, and today we are going to end our discussion on goalkeeping. We've been doing it for 3 weeks, and Abubakar Damba is here. He's a coach, and he belongs to the Goalkeepers Association of Ghana. Good to see you once again.
Thank you very much.
All right, so last week we ended at the two types of goalkeepers we have, those who react, and the other type, the reactionary goalkeeper, and
the anticipatory one.
The anticipatory goalkeeper. Okay, so today I want us to look at the ones who take the penalties, the footballers, the players who take the penalties. Okay, so let's assume that the coach has identified that A, B, C, D, these 4 people are my best penalty takers, and 2 of them are injured or were substituted during the game. Now he's left with only 2 who are very good, and the other options 3 become very dicey for him.
Well, thank you very much. There's always a plan B. Every time you have a plan A, you're supposed to put in the plan B, because you never know the circumstances, because things can always change, just as you mentioned, either injured or maybe due to sending off or otherwise, So that's why you must make a conscious effort to train or take all the players through these penalty taking exercises.
All of them.
That's why I mentioned earlier on the last time, there are some players who are very good at taking those penalty kicks at training. But when it comes to the game situation itself, they find it very, 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 very difficult to, they are not bold enough to step forward.
Let's look at a case in point, Edia. If you remember, in 2010, took the penalty, and we could all tell what he was saying.
Well, maybe that was what you were reading on the, what do you call it?
On his lips. But that's what he said.
But anyway, sometimes players react to this kind of thing because it's very difficult to carry, such a burden at such crucial times. Because taking a penalty kick is always like almost like signing a death warrant.
Exactly.
So it takes big temperament to be able to do this. But it's also the duty of the coach to take players through, this temperament building. That's why we talk about the psychological aspect of the game. You help players through it.
Do we have somebody, apart from the coach, somebody who trains them to build their minds towards penalties?
Definitely.
Okay.
And how do you build your mind towards this penalty taking? Is the mental toughness. But the coach, you must try to put that habit, inculcate it into them, because it is your job.
Do we do that well here?
Well, we're trying our best.
Really?
Yeah.
Is our best enough?
Well, whether it's enough or not, we need to continue trying.
Yeah? Okay. Who would you say is your favorite penalty taker across the world, not just in Ghana? Which player appeals to you most?
For me, goalkeepers are the best penalty takers when they come in to take penalty kicks. One, your standing position informs the taker of the kick what you intend to do. Because normally they look at your knees and see where you exert more pressure, because you cannot exert equal pressure on both feet. There's always more pressure on one foot than the other.
Okay.
And you must be very observant to know this. And lifting your feet off your body, that's leaning forward on your toes, also tells the player where you intend moving to. Know this a lot. So goalkeepers know exactly what they expect from other goalkeepers.
I just want you to name players you like most.
When it comes to taking
penalties.
Nana, I will not...
Not Ghanaian players. I don't want to restrict you.
Well, but for now, currently, I always love to see Yaya Toure take penalties, because he's so composed.
I was hoping you mentioned Yaya Toure.
He's so composed,
so
calm, and he always wait until the last minute before he takes the kick, which of course sometimes is dangerous as well.
What makes it dangerous?
When the goalkeeper does not show the direction he wants to go, then you are forced to change your mind, and in doing so, you can hit the ball directly to the goalkeeper or off target.
Then it means he's been doing it over time, because he seems to get it right all the time.
That's right. He's been doing it over time.
Ronaldo?
Yes, Ronaldo is another very good penalty taker because, he's the big boy who always likes to come forward. And this is what
he's very brave.
Very brave and very bold. And penalty is about, how bold you are.
Yeah, I was coming to that because sometimes you see players exhibit so much confidence behind the ball. But when it comes to penalties, you can tell from their demeanor that I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And you mentioned that it's about the mental ability as well.
That's right.
Who in the camp, for instance, at the Black Stars is responsible for this, for building the mental ability?
Is
it the goalkeeper's coach?
Well, the responsibility of goalkeeper coaches, they have their roles to play. But your roles only end before the game. You have to take the goalkeeper through this psychological preparation and mental preparations as to what to expect and what not to expect. But the moment the goalkeeper steps into the goalpost, you have very little influence because it is now up to him to be responsible for his actions and inactions. So the backdrop stops with the goalkeeper himself. He's responsible for every decision that he takes. That's why goalkeepers are responsible on the pitch, and we goalkeepers trainers are responsible for their performance.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Because people think that goalkeepers, you need to be crazy to be a goalkeeper. But if you look at it on the flip side, the goalkeeper, you need to be actually a little bit crazy. Because diving and letting your body on the ground several times, sometimes say you're a madman. A fake madman will do this. That's where we have problems. So we have to, go through a lot of training, and good training, of course, to be able to guide these goalkeepers through what the do's and the don'ts so far as goalkeeping is concerned, because you require specific skill, specialized skill to be able to become a goalkeeper, because it is a special position.
Okay, what are your expectations about goalkeepers during the World Cup?
Well, I expect them to, to perform very well, because it's going to be really, 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 really hard, simply because the tempo of the game is getting higher and higher. So a lot will depend on our goalkeepers, because this is a tournament that we are going into, a tournament, not just a one-way or a league game. And the tournament is normally won from the defense and the goalkeeper by conceding less goals. If you concede less goals, your team will always be promoted to the next level. But you can score as many goals as you want. If you concede more goals, you are relegated. So a lot is expected of our goalkeepers, together in cooperation with their back four.
Do you see us preparing for penalties? Because in the World Cup, you can't take anything for granted. Do you see enough preparation towards that?
Well, I haven't seen the Black Stars train of late, but knowing who the goalkeepers trainer of the Black Stars is now, Samuel Yakubu, he's been through it and he knows things to expect.
You don't just get up and become a goalkeeper.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You need something very special.
That's right.
Yeah.
But then, the opportunity is given to all players to experience every single position as young people.
Yeah.
You need to experience every single position until the coach identifies who he thinks stands the chance of becoming a good goalkeeper. That is one. We look at your height, and we look at
which is very important.
Very, very important, and we look at your reach. And when we talk about the reach, normally short goalkeepers might have very long reaches, and we are talking about how long your arms are.
Okay.
So we look out for all these things, and your body shape is also very important when it comes to goalkeeping. Okay. So if you look around the world, mostly you don't see goalkeepers with bow legs. No, because it's very difficult as a goalkeeper with bow legs.
I've seen a goalkeeper with K.
Yes, with K, yes, because it is easier to collapse on the ball with a K. And more difficult
so
to collapse.
It's strategic.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Abubakar Damba. That's interesting. Thank you very much for your time. And we're very, very grateful that you made time for the last 3 weeks to be with us.
It's a pleasure.
Okay.